Good morning. Firstly, welcome to Jaipur, and thank you so much for being with us today. Today, we launched the all-new Mahindra Centuro, a motorcycle that is very, very different from any other that you may have seen in its class. True to Mahindra DNA, it is endowed with macho, muscular looks and has some distinctive elements that will make you stand out in a crowd. Its performance parameters, its core performance parameters are best in class. And it comes with a host of innovative features that are new to market and that have been designed with a lot of thoughtfulness for our customers' unmet needs. Through the day, we will also take you through how we intend to make this a truly amazing proposition for Indian customers. So I'm sure you're very eager to know more about the all-new Mahindra Centuro. And without taking too much time, let me invite Mr. Anup Mathur, President, Mahindra Two-Wheelers, and member, Group Executive Board, Mahindra & Mahindra, to start the day's proceedings. Mr. Anup Mathur.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome, a very hearty welcome. It's a momentous occasion for us, almost a red letter day, something that we had been waiting for, something that we had been aspiring for, and I'm absolutely delighted that I'm here today with all of you to share this joy and this pleasure. You will hear a lot about the hero of the day, which is Centuro. And it is indeed the hero. On my part, may I crave indulgence of stepping aside momentarily to demonstrate, if I may, that this piece of art that we're going to unveil, from a Mahindra two-wheeler point of view, is neither one-off nor a flash in the pan. As you all know, over the last year and a half or so, the industry has been facing some headwinds. And I'm not going to go into the details because you are extremely well versed, I know, about the reasons as to why the automotive industry in general and even two-wheeler industry in particular has been impacted by various economic, environmental factors, including a topsy-turvy demand-supply situation in terms of capacities and therefore the pressures on the marketplace. Clearly, as much as it has impacted the other OEMs, it has not left us unaffected. If anything, being a new, relatively young starter, we have been impacted as well. However, the point I want to emphasize on today, and the point I want to relate with the core purpose and the theme of today, is that we have actually tried in our own humble, modest way, but in a very concerted, dedicated, and with conviction, how to convert this situation to our advantage. Some of you may have witnessed what we have tried to do in dealing with what we believe are some very, very critical and crucial areas which are required to take a leap forward despite the environmental factors. And one of the critical ones, if not the most critical ones, is in fact to start with the customer's requirements, the customer's habits and behaviors, and convert that customer insight into a customer-inspired technology solutions to create a differentiation in the marketplace for a Mahindra two-wheeler to have a position for itself in a segment or in a niche of a segment. But the whole idea is to create that stickiness with the customer. Now, this will not happen only by intent or by aspiration. What this requires is a very dedicated, a purposeful investment and a follow-through in product development, in harnessing technology, in new products and innovations which bring more and more newer offerings to the customer at regular intervals. In order to do that, Mahindra two-wheelers, with the help of Mahindra Group at large, has been making significant investments financially in hardware and software over the last year and a half or two. And indeed, you may have witnessed how over the last 12 months or so, we've got two excellent scooter products in the marketplace in the name and style of Rodeo RZ and Euro DZ. And indeed, we have been working on the motorcycle front as well. We chose to pick up the challenge of dealing with the requirements of the most important subcategory of this sector, which is the motorcycle. I dare say lesser mortals may have would have got overawed or overwhelmed by the situation, but not we. We have actually been working complete on in-house product development of the motorcycles completely, which means the engine, the powertrain, the vehicles, frame and body, chassis, you name it, styling, everything we've been working on our own. And we've been working assiduously with rigor and with depth over the last year and a half or so. And what you see today as an outcome of that, in the name and style of Centuro, is indeed the outcome of this very, very rigorous, very purposeful, and a very professional approach to the Mahindra methods of robustness of design, of robustness of centricity with respect to the customer in creating a product offering for the marketplace. So if you just contextualize the whole thing, you will find that our approach has been tailor-made or customized to link the customer on the one hand through technology with what Mahindra and Mahindra two-wheeler has to offer and has to perform in the marketplace. In so doing, we are ensuring, and this must be understood, which is why I am belaboring the point, in so doing, we have actually spent enormous amount of quality time in validating our design, in validating the customer feedback, in incorporating the customer feedback. So what you see today is actually an outcome of this very inclusive engagement that we have with all the stakeholders. Indeed, we involve our suppliers and vendors upfront at the design stage itself, so that we have their involvement in the design itself for quality consistency, for cost optimization, and indeed everything with features and whatever that goes with that. So when you put this all together and you see a holistic sort of confluence of the customer, the vendors, the suppliers, and indeed our own R&D design team, you are more than likely to end up with a product which actually is endowed with what will attract the customers. We hope, we believe that what we will present to you today has features and has the versatility of what I have just described in the product development and design. Alongside that, for those of you who may not have seen where and how we manufacture these products, our manufacturing facilities and the plant and factory that we have close to Indore in Madhya Pradesh has been transformed from a position of, I wouldn't say much to talk about, to something which is actually a world-class, state-of-the-art plant. And it is important that we did that, because you cannot produce a world-class product unless your facilities are commensurate with the same level of quality and consistency. I'm very happy to say that today we have a plant which befits and behoves the manufacture of products of this nature. And finally, all that requires to be dealt with smartly, effectively, and impactfully in the marketplace. And what we have done over the last about a year or so is we have completely redesigned the entire front end of the organization. And the whole idea is that we want to be very, very close to the customer, so that our involvement with the customer and the interface is constant and quick, so that we have the ability to gauge the trends, the requirements, the highs and the lows and everything put together. This, in fact, is in motion now. And this, dare I say, is something quite unique that we are trying to do. And we do believe that this, coupled with sharp marketing and brand management, will give us that competitive advantage in the marketplace as well. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, this, if you will, is the recipe of what we are trying to work on. And today you will see something in the name of Centuro, which, if I may say so, is an example of what will follow. Even as I speak today, our R&D team and the entire value chain of the business is working feverishly on a slew of new products. We have a range of scooters and a range of motorcycles lined up for launch starting from the rest of this year itself. And without revealing, and with the permission of the chairman, may I say that in the next 2 to 2.5 years, we will churn out at least 10 new models and refreshes, which averages out almost one per quarter in the next 2.5 years. Because we do believe that our strength lies and will continue to lie in how we continue to maintain the excitement and newness in the marketplace. So this has been the philosophy behind Centuro, which, as you will see today, is our first offering of the magnitude that we believe you can expect from Mahindra two-wheelers in the years to come. I will not go into the details of Centuro, because I know that the rest of the program will give more and more details of that, but I will certainly say one thing. We have been most influenced by one simple mantra. And the one simple mantra is what is called Mahindra Rise. You will see in the Centuro alternative thinking, accepting no limits, and driving positive change deeply embedded in the product, in the design, in its interface with the customers, and indeed all that it professes to fulfill. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, extremely happy to be here with you today. Extremely happy that we can share this moment of joy with all of you. And extremely proud that the team, my team in Mahindra two-wheelers and I are here today to share with you this moment of happiness that we've been all waiting for. So thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the Mahindra Centuro television commercial as much as we enjoyed making it. This commercial of Mahindra Centuro, which will start airing from the 5th of this month on various television channels across the country, celebrates its lineage with the group of Mahindra very strongly and talks about its masculinity, solid, tough, styling, reliability, and ready to take on all kinds of road conditions that the world can throw at it. The positioning of It's Great to Be Me is to celebrate the person we are, the individual within us. It's about people everywhere, moving forward in life, breaking new barriers, winning, setting new standards, and generally creating progress. It's about being comfortable with who you are, not needing to be like anyone else, but be yourself, and really make the world a better place because of who you are. So it is great to be me. The Mahindra Centuro, as we've talked about, is a technological breakthrough that addresses many consumer needs that have remained unaddressed and unmet for many years. Needs that are so basic as theft. Needs that are basic as knowing how far you can go before you run out of fuel. Needs about finding your car, your motorcycle in crowded parking lots across the country. So it is really a lot of features within it, and really to find out more, why don't we together construct a Mahindra Centuro and see what goes into making one.
We would request our media friends not to use their flash in this sequence. हम अपने मीडिया के दोस्तों से रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि वो इस सीक्वेंस में फ्लैश ना यूज करें. थैंक यू.
I would now like to request Mr. Anand Mahindra, Chairman Mahindra Group, to please come and say a few words. Thank you.
To all our friends in media, thank you for taking the time and the effort to be with us today. It's a very important day, as you can see from the impassioned words of Anup and Viren. What you're seeing is a product that's the prayag, the result of a confluence of customer feedback, of out-of-the-box thinking, and most important, very meticulous engineering. But you're not just here to witness a product launch, you're also here to witness a milestone in what is essentially an entrepreneurial journey of Mahindra. Over the past couple of years, there have been no shortage of skeptics asking us why we are entering the two-wheeler business, why we are putting in such an enormous amount of money and effort and human resources into a business that is witnessing such cutthroat competition, such an oligopolistic hold by existing players. And to be honest, when I hear these skeptics, gives me a sense of déjà vu, and also, I have to admit, a certain sense of amusement. The words, "You will never survive in this business. You should stick to what you're good at." Frankly, those are not words that I've heard only in the two-wheeler business. In 1991, when I joined Mahindra, I heard the very same words uttered by the director of one of the most renowned consultancies in the world, and he was referring to our automotive business and was saying we should stick to tractors. Well, I'm very glad, given how we fared in the auto business and our market cap today, that we did not heed his advice. There was no shortage of people telling us that, like the other Indian players that existed in 91, the other Indian players, we would go their way and there was no possible way to succeed. I heard similar questions when we built Mahindra World City, first in Chennai and then in Jaipur. And ironically, from another well-known consultancy around the world, telling us what you were building was a white elephant. That white elephant today is regarded as a pioneer in the special economic zone movement of India. We are very proud to have a Mahindra World City in Jaipur. We are proud to be putting India on the map for world-class infrastructure as a result. And once again, I'm glad we didn't listen to conventional thinking. I heard the same sentences when we decided to acquire Satyam. You have no idea what you're doing. You have no clue about the magnitude of effort required to turn this company around. And therefore, I don't want to make it sound as if we are contrarians for the sake of being contrarian. Yes, I get my juices flowing when somebody says you can't do something and when something's impossible. But that's not the only reason we do it. You have to have strategy. You have to be grounded in logic. And you have to believe as a business that you have what we call a right to win. And what I mean by a right to win is that you need to have a very logical, thought out, left brain analysis of why you're going to succeed in this business. And I assure you that logic has been applied here. You have to believe that you have the right to be there because you have a brand that is applicable. You have a channel which can be deployed for succeeding in this business. that you have the core engineering strengths to succeed, and that you have an ecosystem of mobility that is going to provide you with an advantage that nobody else in this industry has today. The scale of our mobility businesses, when you encompass the automotive segment, the tractor business, the truck business, and if you look at our supply chain, if you look at our engineering, our logistics capabilities, our brand reach, our channel reach, we have a right to win. Now, whether we do win or not is entirely up to us. And yes, if we don't win, it is surely out of our own incompetence. But we do believe at Mahindra that we have a right to win in this business. And we are not going to listen to conventional thinking, because that's not about Mahindra Rise, as Anup said. My view is that if you have the right to win in a business in India, then I think you have an obligation as an entrepreneur to make an attempt. And it disturbs me sometimes that in cocktail parties we talk about how we have a crab mentality in this country, we pull each other down, and yet we are the first to want to believe that somebody is not winning, that somebody is losing. We discourage people from trying. We revel in people's initial setbacks. And that's what goes against the entrepreneurial culture in this country. And we are not going to succumb to that. Because we revel in the mistakes we make, because mistakes are what make us stronger. What you should see when you look at our business is not what were the mistakes we made. The question is, how quickly did we learn from them? How quickly have we come back with products that astonish, with products that the customer is going to want? That's the core of entrepreneurship. How quick, how small is your learning loop? And I want to take my hat off today to this entire team that's sitting here, because they never gave in. They never lost courage, despite initial setbacks, which to me were learning loops. And they've come out with astonishing products, the first of which you will see here today. I'm very proud of them for that skill, that competence, and that ambition. And finally, that's why we're going to succeed. It's because of their hunger and their ambition. That's the real DNA of M&M. And I'm very proud that it's on full display here today. But with all these brave words, the fact is that ultimately you win or lose because of the product. And the product, ladies and gentlemen, is the star today. The product is what we are going to talk about right now, the product and its pricing. I believe that we now have a product in the Centuro which epitomizes Mahindra's strength, a hassle-free, innovative, reliable, durable product, and above all, a product that gives astonishing value for money and allows customers to rise. So without any further ado, may I request the team to come up here and to introduce the product and the price.
So the moment has come. May I request our chairman, Mr. Anand Mahindra, to please unveil the prize. So, Anand, will you please tell us what is the prize? I just need to make one quick announcement. As of late last night, we have decided to raise the bar further of excitement. There is a bigger dhamaka in store, as we have decided that the first 10,000 bookings would be at 44,000 rupees.